Hey everybody, my name is Ashwin Chako and I'm a positively playful author, illustrator, and motivational speaker based in Dublin, Ireland. And today I'm going to share a little bit about the process behind my new book, A Little Book About Justice. So come join me. Welcome to my home studio. So this isn't much, it's a tiny room within my house. It was a garage that got converted into a room, but now it is my studio. This is where the magic happens. So now that you've seen my tiny studio, let's talk about process. So because I'm both an author and an illustrator, a lot of people ask me which came first, the words or the illustrations. And to me, that's a bit like the chicken and egg scenario where you're not quite sure which came first. But in this instance, in writing A Little Book About Justice, it definitely was the words. So I start off by writing out my ideas in a little notebook like this one, and I'm just writing thoughts around the idea of justice and what I believe justice is. And once I'd honed in on my understanding of justice, then I started breaking it down into a narrative on how I could tell a little story using the larger idea of justice. Once the story is written out, then I send it off to the editor, and it's a collaborative process where we then clean up the words and fine-tune the language for our final book. Once the editor gives me the thumbs up, that's when we move on to the illustrations. Yes. So this is where I start bringing the words to life with little pictures to really enhance the key ideas that I want to push forward. And so the first thing I do is jump onto my iPad Pro and I start sketching some rough sketches. So here's a look at the interior process. So the first thing I want to do is kind of work out how the custom typography is going to work out in conjunction with the illustration element. I always want to make sure that they are reading as one cohesive piece and they're not fighting each other. And this is pretty much the longest time period in the process of creating a book, because it takes a lot of work to work out the right layout for the right spread. And because it's a picture book, they're all double page spreads, and so the illustration and the typography kind of fill the full frame of the book. And so if you see this knight being created here, it took like a couple of tries to get the right angle and the right direction for it. And same for the judge. I keep changing different poses, trying to get the right pose to fit the layout so that it'll be the most impactful. Now this process continues with every single page that is within the book, and the key here is to ensure that all the words are legible, there's good spacing, and that the images are making the impact they need to. These are the rough layouts that then get sent over to the art director to have a look, and then he lets me know if there needs to be any tweaks or not, or if he's happy for me to go ahead. And once he says yes, then I get cracking, and this is when the true magic happens, and I start adding color and the characters come to life, and the book really starts coming together. So once the colors are approved, there's one last step, which is of course doing the layout for the book. And so that's usually in conjunction with the art director and the designer. So I did a basic layout on my computer, looked through what I wanted the book to look like, send it over to the designer, and he then starts making tweaks and really fine-tuning and finessing it. And now that all that is done, what's left is of course the final printed version. And so this is my little board book by A Kid's Book About and I'm super excited. So let's have a little read, right? When we think of justice, we might imagine something awesome, like a knight wielding a sword. Something lawful, like a judge in his robes. Something fantastic, like a league of superheroes. Or something hard, like a person behind bars. But justice is not a person or a thing, it's a feeling deep inside us that comes alive with action. Justice is about reaching up and standing up for those who are powerless. Justice teaches us about equality for everyone, no matter what they look like or where they come from. Justice done right comes from a place of love. It seeks the good of everyone so they are treated fairly. It brings balance to the world so we can live in harmony. But most importantly, justice is about doing what is right, even when it's hard, for you, me, and all humanity. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and it gives you a good understanding of what justice is. The one key takeaway is do what is right, even when it's hard. Thank you all for joining me in this behind the scenes on the making of a little book about justice. And I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about the process of what it really takes to create a children's book. It is a lot of work and it takes a lot of collaboration, but in the end, it's totally worth it to then hold your book in your hand and then have your words go out to everybody out there. So that's me signing off. My name is Ashwin Chaco, aka Wacko Chaco. Give me a follow on my social channels and I hope to see you there.